What's up, guys? Welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today, unfortunately, I'm going to be telling you guys about the truth of the goldfish industry and some pitfalls really to this amazing hobby. So make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back. As always, check out those links in the description and make sure you've checked out our website. Unfortunately, today's video probably isn't going to be the most exciting and most happy video I've made, but I feel like it's a really serious issue that needs to be addressed. Unfortunately, today we actually lost my orange, the big orange fancy goldfish right here. And I checked him all over, no symptoms, nothing, just completely went dead on me overnight really. So I checked him all over, checked in the gill covers, nice and red, no wounds, no redness anywhere, nothing I could see externally. So it does happen, unfortunately, and fish do die in this hobby. Now, I really wanted to take the opportunity today to talk more about the goldfish hobby and the real pitfalls that it does have, unfortunately. And there was another YouTuber, you may know Solid Gold, who actually got out of the hobby, and I believe it really was for these reasons. And now I can totally appreciate that, and I can sort of understand it a little bit more now that I've been keeping the goldfish for quite a long time. These goldfish, as we know, are not naturally occurring fish. They have been interbred and bred for specific traits like the curved back, the large wen, the small tails, the fat bodies, and all of this genetic interbreeding and changes to their natural body shape obviously does come with its downfalls and downsides. Just like when you're buying a pedigree dog, it's been bred specifically for different traits and they do have their downsides. Now, as we know, Ranchu are really cute, they're really fat and really chubby, and they're probably one of the goldfish that are as far away from the natural common goldfish right here as we can get, really. There are other breeds like pearl scales and bubble eyes as well, but today's focus is really on the Ranchu. The body has been pushed out sideways, it has been compacted, and then it has been curved around, and that means all of those organs are really compact and really tightly packed into that chest or cavity, into the stomach area. And if you've seen my goldfish autopsy video I did, you'd sort of be able to see that anatomy a little bit better. Now, along the back of the fish is mostly muscle and flesh, so all of these organs are packed right underneath, really tightly in, and this has many problems like buoyancy and swim bladder issues, gut compaction, and the inability to digest certain foods well. And unfortunately, these fish do have health complications. The really big wens cover their faces and they can sort of cover their eyes as well, so they may sometimes need wen trimming. The heavy, large heads can sort of compact the throat area and its ability to take in water and remove the oxygen from the water. So it does have its problems, and we really, as hobbyists, need to try our best to give these fish the best life possible, and we need to put certain things in place to stop these problems and these inabilities from getting worse. Now, obviously, well, I'd hope most of you would know that these fish do have some problems like the pedigree dog, for example, and we are taking that on as a hobbyist, and it is all part of the hobby, unfortunately. If we want to keep these modified fish, then we need to provide the best environment for them. Now, unfortunately, my orange Ranchu died, and I do not know the cause of it. I could have done another autopsy, but I didn't really feel up to it, unfortunately. and I just wanted to get this video out to you guys. Now, it's quite a hard video to make because obviously I've had a couple of fish die now. I think the calico died, and then we did have that red and white ranchu die at the beginning of the year. And it is just one of those things. All three of those fish had no symptoms at all, and they just died overnight. And it could be down to numerous things, most likely an internal complication. What we can do is we can check the water quality. That is the first thing to do: ammonia, nitrite and nitrate. Now, if all of these are okay and within the levels that we would like to see, then the next thing we can look for is parasites. We can do a scrape of the mucus, look at it under a microscope, and if no parasites are present, potentially it could be bacterial. If the fish aren't exhibiting any redness or sort of any cloudiness, then it's potentially unlikely to be bacterial, and most likely it is an internal problem. Now, a lot of these fish are really intensively farmed, and you can get much stronger and also much weaker fish depending where you buy your fish from. Now, you may not know this, but a lot of the larger imported, higher quality, more expensive fish are a lot weaker than their smaller counterparts. Now, a lot of the fish I've received and I've purchased myself are larger, sort of 4 to 6 inch fish. They are higher quality, and because they have commanded that higher price tag, the breeders want to grow them as fast as possible, and they really want to pack the weight on, pack the size on, so they get big fish that they can sell for a higher price. Now, growing things tremendously fast has its pitfalls, and the immune system and the strength of these fish is not what they would be like if they were grown naturally. Quite similar to humans taking steroids, for example, and getting really big really fast. You can't do that forever without having long-lasting damaging effects to your body. Your body simply cannot take that on, and it is the exact same for fish as well. Now, a lot of these ranchu in Thailand and China, as well as other fish like oranda, the higher quality fish are selected out, they are put into large ponds, and they are absolutely fed to maximum capacity to grow them as fast and as quickly as possible. Now, if you're buying smaller, younger fish that have already been imported, they haven't had that huge growth spurt, and they're grown more slowly and more naturally. They may acclimate to our water a bit better, and generally they are a lot stronger. Now, so this is really one of the pitfalls of this hobby, and if you want to sort of mitigate those effects and you want stronger fish, I would suggest buying smaller fish, maybe paying a little bit less. You can buy really lovely small ranchu for sort of 40–50 pounds, get really good quality fish and grow them on yourself. And now, not only does this provide quality and higher strength fish, you also get that enjoyment out of growing them yourself, which is a really nice experience. Also, if you choose to breed fish yourself, or you even get them from like a UK breeder, or maybe if you're in the US, you get them from a US breeder, you know they have most likely been grown on at a nice, slow and steady rate, and they are strong fish, adapted to the water quality in your area or your country, the temperatures as well, and they generally are just a bit more hardy. So that is another thing to take into consideration. Now, I knew the risks I was taking when I was buying these larger fish, and a lot of them do not make it, and that is why the prices are generally a lot higher for the larger fish. We don't get to see that side of the hobby mostly, and we're sort of shielded and guarded from it, but a lot of the big fish that are brought in, they don't make shipping because they just aren't as strong. They deteriorate 1 to 2 days after the shipping process, and the damage has already been done. So I would suggest, if you want some stronger, nice fish that are going to do well, then it's probably best to buy smaller fish and grow them on yourself. Give them a nice balanced diet, some veggies, gel food, bloodworms, daphnia, a selection of good quality pellet foods, and then you'll know they haven't been force fed to get that growth to pack on as fast as possible. And most likely these fish will far outlive and outgrow the larger fish that you have purchased. On the flip side, you can still purchase larger fish that have been grown slower and that are maybe older. You may be able to get sort of 4 or 5 inch fish that are 2 or 3 years old, and they have been grown at a nice steady rate. However, a lot of these fish from Thailand, a lot of the 4 to 5 inch fish are all under 12 months old, and that is really sort of unhealthy, and you're not getting a long lasting fish. Now, if you're prepared to do water changes all the time, give them lots of food, even give them a good warm temperature, then maybe you can get the best out of them. But really, I find that is a ticking time bomb of not if, but when these fish are going to go downhill. So maybe this video today was a bit of a downer, but I want to get the truth out to you guys, and I always want to get all the facts out to you so you can make your own opinions. Now, I've bought the large fish, I've taken on the risks, and unfortunately fish have died and potentially suffered, and that is on me as a hobbyist. And now that I've been in the hobby longer, I can take into account and I can sort of appreciate how maybe I was too short-sighted and I didn't care maybe too much about the fish. I wanted the best, I wanted the biggest, and maybe a lot of other hobbyists as well have thought that too. So I think I'm giving you guys the truth. Maybe this is a learning curve, maybe this is a step to the next part of the chapter. Maybe it's time to look at sort of some smaller fish, maybe grow them on myself, maybe pick some smaller, higher quality fish to grow on. As we know, as you get into the hobby more, your eye gets better, you choose better fish that you can see future potential with, and you do get that satisfaction out of growing them as well. So I hope you guys have all learned something from this video. Thank you all for watching. We've got hopefully some amazing, awesome tank tour videos coming very soon. I really hope they're going to come soon, and I believe they will probably be the next 2-3 episodes, something like that. So thank you all for watching. Really appreciate all of you guys leaving those comments down below and leaving those likes. Remember to keep those water changes up, and happy fish keeping.